Okay, we're going to talk about starting your catalog, your first catalog. All right, maybe you've made a catalog before with Lightroom. Most likely you probably have lost it somewhere in your computer, but we're going to keep your catalog on this hard drive and make it mobile so you can move back and forth between home and your computer at home, if that's what you like it. All right, but you do need to have something on your hard drive to be a catalog. All right, so let's review where we last left off. If we open up our archive, you notice that we have our photos folder. We created a photos folder, and we also created that job folder. But since then, I've actually populated it with a couple more folders, probably from some previous folders that I had done before. As you can see here, most of these were done during 2014, and one last year at around this time, one in August, and one in July. And then also you can see here, the description that's on here kind of is a note to myself. It just makes sense to me. It doesn't necessarily make sense to somebody else, but it puts a human face on it, so I know when I'm looking through the folders, kind of like what's going on. I don't need a lot. I don't need a lot of. Just need to make sure that it's that's workable. In fact, I'm actually going to change this name here to make it more of a camel case type of arrangement here. Close in those. It says Caleb and Pups. Space. All right, so this is where we left off before. These are the images we brought in before, and then we have some additional things as well. Okay, so now that we made the photos folder, let's take a look at this in a different way. Let's look at it using let's look at this using a list. What I mean by that is it's you can look at your folders or you can look at your hard drives any way you want. You want to look at it this way, as if they were icons, in which I would keep looking inside each one. Or this would be a list that has lovely little carrots you can actually turn down like that. Or you could look at it like this, columns type thing. Problem with the columns one, can't keep going back to this. All right, so here I am at the root of my folder, or I'm sorry, root of my hard drive, and we're going to create a catalog. Now, the catalog folder is actually created by Lightroom itself. So this is unusual since we're starting the archive. This is the only time that you're ever going to go down here to the icon on the dock, and click on that. This is the first and last time you're going to do that. The first thing it's going to say is that it can't find the catalog it was working with before. So that's fine. Let's choose a different catalog. Now it's got another catalog up here that was done a long time ago in a lifetime that I don't really want to care to remember. In fact, it's an old catalog. But hopefully yours is blank. But even if it isn't, the most important thing is this right here. We want to create a new catalog. So if you see this dialog box, it's the only time you actually use this dialog box is really to create a new catalog. Okay? Now, we have to give it a name, and we also have to give it some direction. Now, if you remember from our previous videos, oops, get this a little bit bigger. That secondary, right now my computer's pointed at some strange folder in the middle of my documents, but we really want to move it down to something, down to the actual archive itself. And remember there was if you can see devices down here that show what's going on. We can go to that device, and you can see here, I can see the photos folder. Now this is the root of our drive. So we're going to save it. Wait, hang on one second, I've got to stop the dogs. Okay, we're back. Now, what we need to do is we need to create a name for the catalog. And for that, there's different people have different things they want to do it. I'm going to try to give you some sort of sense of how to do this based on the PDFs that we're handing out. And in this one, we're going to do, some people like just put cat master. and then a space, and then like in my case would be J, and then capital J, space, Hesketh, and that would be that would work for me because I'm trying to make a master catalog for the whole thing, right? So all my classes would be in one catalog. But some instructors might want you to actually create a catalog for each one of your classes, and that's where you want to try to find out what you want to do. So in this case, you can make a catalog, not catalog, catalog is something else. And in this case, what you might want to put in here is if you're in class 123, it would be 123, oops, 23. Or if you're in 125, it'd be 125. Again, there's no reason why you couldn't have one catalog that would handle both classes or all your classes. The nice thing about having a master catalog that isn't specified for your class, this can actually become your master catalog for here until forever. All right, but this is how you actually make it, and this is how we've got it specified in your PDFs. All right, so you can see here we're creating a catalog, and notice we're not going into photos. We leave that right where it's at. We're going to place it right here at the root of the drive. Okay, and so we're now going to create it, and you can see here in this window here. Now, the first thing first thing the catalog does is it opens it up in Lightroom. At this point, what I'd like you to do is and also, if this comes up, turn that to off, continue. Now it's going through what's going through right now is just some sort of thing just to show you kind of what it does and things like that. So I'm just going to try to ignore that and go to quit, and then we're done. So Lightroom kind of comes up right away, and we'll go back into Lightroom in a little bit, but I really wanted to show you the structure of the catalog. So here is the catalog itself, and the catalog is this file right here. If I were to, oops, what happened? Sorry. If I were to tag that with an orange dot, a yellow or red dot, that is your catalog right there. All I did was just tagged it so that it would be different from the other one. But that is your catalog. If you wanted to open your catalog from now on, you don't go down here. You'll never go back to the dock to open Lightroom. Never. You're going to go to the catalog and double click like this. And it'll open up. All right. So that's basically how you create the catalog. Now we need to fill the catalog in or import things into the catalog. But now we can quit Lightroom again. Back. Now this is normally where the video would end, but there's one more thing. Sometimes I like to do this is to add another folder, and the reason for this is I put a space, and then I put in class materials. And you can even put support materials, whatever. But the idea is this underscore is really important. See this underscore? That actually puts it to the top. And the reason for that is anything that you come into the classroom and you want to take with you, I mean, you can download a lot of things like this video and many other things. Some of the instructors have week 1, week 2, week 3. You would just copy that into this folder right here, and then that gives you a way to keep up or accumulate all the support material that you'll have in your instructions, and also keep it out of the way, out of the root of the folder, or actually root of the volume, so that you can just get right to your catalog right away. There's no need to put anything else at the root. Everything else would go, anything that's not part of the catalog goes into this folder right here. This is just for the catalog here, and this is for the photos right here. Now, here's another word. When we're going to talk about importing The position, the photos in relationship to your catalog has to stay the same throughout. You can't change things around. Like I can't change the names after I import these things. I can't change the names around that. Because what happens is this catalog where it's positioned will link to the images in this folder, link to these images in this folder. There's no images inside of Lightroom. It's just links. So when we talk about importing, we're going to talk about in the next video, we're only going to be importing the links because we've already added our images to our archive. All right. That's what an archive should look like. That's what a student archive should look like. You could take this archive with you after your career here at Orange Coast College or Santa Monica College or wherever you are, and you can use it for all your clients. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you put on larger and larger hard drive. It's kind of like a hermit crab. One shell to a bigger shell to a bigger shell to. All right, hope that makes sense. And that's the good start.